Yeah, and she's here. I'm going to try kumoto pagbilis.
Reinventing Life's Sweetness, is that the name of it?
Yeah, finding life sweetness.
Finding Life's Sweetness. Okay, great.
Hi, Norma.
Hello, how are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm
Hello.
awesome, thank you.
Hello, Norma. Welcome.
Hi,
Oh,
Patricia.
Did you have difficulty getting in?
Yes.
Everyone seems to be having that problem today, but we're moving forward. So finding life's sweetness, that's your topic, right?
Yes.
And I'm delighted. It's going to be wonderful to hear this.
Yes.
So my co-host over here, Sue is just going to be on screen,
Okay, yeah.
off screen, but it'll be you and I in the conversation.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So we'll begin with your why and then go into your program. You'll be doing most of the talking, and I'll jump in when I feel that a question prompts. I feel prompted by a question. Okay. All right.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Okay, great. All right, wonderful. Okay, Janichi, let's do it.
Welcome back to the Voices of Women Summit, where in honor of International Women's Day 2023, we are raising the voices of hundreds of women so that their messages can be heard. Your host for this session is Patricia Diorio. Patricia is a spiritual mentor, sacred storyteller, and professional intuitive. She is the founder of Practical Spirituality Counseling and has a background in media, having founded, produced, and hosted 335 television shows over 14 years. Her guests have included such luminaries as Bruce Lipton, Greg Braden, and Deepak Chopra. Now she is moving her television work online with her new podcast, Align with the Divine, which will launch in April. She has another amazing guest coming right up. Take it away, Patricia.
Thank you so much. Well, welcome everyone to Voices of Women, celebrating our International Women's Day. And I have another wonderful guest here today to share her work with us, Norma McCormick. Hello, Norma.
Hello, Patricia. Thank you for having me. I'm honored with everyone that you've interviewed. My gosh, the big names. One day, maybe I will be there.
Oh, that's not such a great claim to fame, but it was fun. Okay, wonderful. Well, tell us about your work, finding your sweetness, finding the sweetness of life. Is that it?
Yes, finding life's sweetness. So let's begin with what was maybe an uncomfortable journey. And I don't know about some of your listeners, and maybe you can put it in the chats. I wasn't given a rule book on life. And I lived a life trying to please everyone else. I was doing what I thought I was supposed to be doing, because that's what they wanted me to do. I found that I was living up to everyone else's expectation, and I kept having this gnawing at me. And spiritually, I knew this isn't in alignment. And unfortunately, I ended a 34-year-old marriage only because if I didn't, I was going to kill myself with the abuse that I had taken in with alcohol. And I know that I'm not alone, ladies. And I know it's something we don't like to talk about. We compare ourselves to a lot of other people, and there's no need for it. We are divine beings. We're here for a purpose. We need you for who you are to stand into that. And it was just really a beautiful ride. There were highs and lows. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't all bad, but I really learned that I went to numb out, and I used alcohol. A lot of people use food. They'll use different, addictions to get through stuff. And I really learned that I have to go back and be me, who I was supposed to be.
So that's your main why. Is it? Yes. And
Yeah.
how did you do that? How did you find life's sweetness initially after that journey?
Well, during the whole process, as I said, I had that gnawing. I knew there was something more that I was supposed to do. I knew there was something greater. I got certified as a health coach, and I realized that some of the food that we're consuming is also very addictive. And it clouds our mind, it clouds our judgment. It clouds our pineal gland, which is our intuitive source to higher energy. And I just really felt a strong calling that we've got to talk to people about how we're eating, what we're consuming. Or you've heard the statement, it's not what you're eating, it's what eating you. And we have to look at who we are. We have to look at our emotions. So I came up with what I call lifestyle. So the L, love who you are, or at least have an intense like of who you are and what you're doing, how you're serving. The I, the insight or awareness. When feelings come up, when emotions, if it's cravings, someone says something to you at work and it sets you off. Why? Just question. Take the insight and look inside. And the F, family, friends. Relationships are huge for healing. That's where we get the greatest peace, is one of the greatest ones. It's not necessarily the food we're consuming, but who are we surrounding ourselves with? And then E, our environment. Is our environment feeding us? Is it expanding us, or is it contracting us? And that's really an important thing. Sometimes we live in an area that we don't want to be in. We don't enjoy the weather. We don't enjoy our neighbors. You have the right to leave. Look for something better. And then S, a big one is stress management. We're not looking at the stressors that create in our everyday life and learning how to deal with them. Could be yoga, could be breath meditation, could be going out in nature. I love going and playing in dirt. That grounds and centers me with Mother Earth, and then I feel peaceful and calm. So whatever that stress is to you, obviously I don't want you to go to food. I don't necessarily want you to go to alcohol, but a lot of it too is looking at the feelings and the emotions that are bubbling up and how are we dealing with them? And then we look at T, thankfulness. Where's the thankfulness or gratitude in our life where we're really honoring what we've been given, honoring who we are to stand into the purpose that we're here for? And why? That yearning desire. I knew in my heart through all the years that there was a bigger purpose for me that I was supposed to serve during this time here. I knew that. I could feel that. And the L is leaning in. Lean in. When you have an inkling or a thought or something comes across, lean into it. Let's look at it. What if? What if you went down that path? And then the E, expansion. And I think when we start going through all those channels, we start expanding in our human bodies, and we're able to give back at a greater, deeper level for everyone around us.
So what is the acronym? What is the acronym?
Lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
Lifestyle. Because we know that sometimes, oh, I apologize if my birds are getting a little loud in the background. They're getting excited. You know, I think we start looking at our lifestyle. I always thought it had to look a certain way, or this is the way they did it. I had to stay married. I had to do this. And I wasn't honoring who I was and what I was feeling. And that was that deep yearning that kept coming back. And I love it because I believe that spirit guide will tap you and go, hey, this isn't in alignment. You might want to look at something a little different. And it gets a little louder, and it got louder, and it got louder. And I knew that it was time for me to leave. I'm grateful for the marriage I had. I pray and wish all health and happiness for my ex-husband, but it was something that I have to do on my journey here to really get out and help women step into who they're supposed to be. Don't be somebody else. You're not designed to be somebody else. You have a unique gift. Display who you are. I call it real and raw. And sometimes it may not live up to someone else's perspective, but be who you're supposed to be. Dance in the rain, run and jump in mud puddles if that's what it takes, you know? I mean, go back to that life, that childlike attitude, you know? For me, it's dirt. I like playing in the dirt.
That's wonderful. You know, it makes me think of the quote, be yourself. Everybody else is taken.
Yeah.
I love that because, you know, we're all a unique expression of the divine. Or each of us is a unique expression of who we came here to be.
Yes.
And there's nobody like anybody on the planet, even identical twins. You can't, there's no way. Everyone has a unique contribution to make as what I say as a divine being having a human experience. And I think this is really pretty much what you're saying, is it not?
It is absolutely what I'm saying. And I'm glad that you've got listeners that are on that page. But no, and I think that's what we're all experiencing. And from a human existence, we try to fit into this mold, and that's not what we're designed to be. And I think when I kept trying to put myself into that box or into that mold, it just wasn't working. And I knew there was a greater source. And that's what really pulled me out of the alcohol addiction. And I just woke up one day and I just said, you know what? Tomorrow sounds like a good day. Let's just quit drinking. And I did. It was just that easy because I knew that the divine and God, spirit, whoever you pray or whatever you call it, was driving me to something bigger here on earth right now.
Right, right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who's your ideal client? Who's your ideal?
I love working. Well, I like coaching and guiding women so that they can get into their optimal health, so that they can bring forth their best gifts and talents to the world. That's what we need. We need people to be who they are, you know? So I love working with women. I love children. I've got 2 children's books out of about good eating. So Gertie's Living Garden, and then Food Fun with Trudy is an activity guide that plays with food and that kind of stuff. So I knew in order to get to the children, get them eating better, we have to get with the moms. We have to get with the adults. So I love teaching people the importance of food and real, fresh, living food.
And where does Gertie and Trudy come in?
Well, I knew that I wanted to work with kids because I'm kind of a big kid at heart, but a lot of times children don't understand where food comes. They think you go to the grocery store and you buy it right off the shelf. They don't have a clue. So I thought about doing, the little girl goes to the country, stays with the summer with grandparents and learns where food's at, but learns the connectiveness, learns about table time, coming back in, no electronics, being with the family, sharing fully with your neighbors the abundance that you've been giving. It was really simple values that I wove into the book. And, with that, I always liked the name Gertie, and it ex-made me that I will not get grandchildren because I told my kids I would name it Gertie. And they're like, that's it. There's not. So I had to explain that Gertie was a nickname for Gertrude, which mom calls Gertie Trudy. So that was where the little play on words came, but just really an opening door, a step one for younger children to start looking at food. I'm working on creating some recipes and coming out with that so that they can understand and kind of get in and play with their food. If it's creating salads or something like that they enjoy eating, helping mom cook so that they can see the importance of fresh food.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And what do you think? Do you think there is one ideal diet for all of us?
No, not at all. Not at all. So it was funny. So when I think of diet, I think of someone that has a desire to want to make a change, but it's an individualized program that you can explore what works for you and you receive the transformation. There is no one diet. There is no one pill. I could eat and you could not eat necessarily what I eat or consume because our lifestyles are so different. Our genetics are different, but our lifestyles are different. I'm physically active 8, 10, 12 hours a day. Most people aren't. So when you look at those things, there's so many factors. And that's why I love really breaking it down for women. Let's start at the basics. Let's start at who you are, love who you are, and let's start developing a plan and exploring what works for you. It's not about, Jennifer Aniston or your neighbor or, what your mother ate. We've got to break it down for what works for you. And that's what's so beautiful about it. And the transformation is awesome.
Well, we're losing time here really quickly. Do you have a freebie gift for us, or is it something that you would like to add to the freebie list? Absolutely.
I'd love for them to go to my website, and it's harmonyinabundance.com. They can take the quiz, but they can get a 15-minute free consultation with me. So we can talk about what needs or what they're looking for. How do they want to resolve what's the issue in their life right now? Could be food, could be career, could be family. But yes, if they will go to Harmony and then the letter N, harmonyinabundance.com, and they'll see the take the quiz, and they can sign up for a 15-minute free consultation with me.
Great. And just for a recap for people, give us the association of the acronym, each of the letters. What are they again? Life. I know it's lifestyle. Briefly.
Lifestyle. So love it. The L is love, or like what you're doing or who you are. The I is the insight, being aware of how you feel and the thoughts that you're holding. The F is your family, your friends, the relationships that we're keeping close by us. E is our environment. How are we living? What does that look like? Are you peaceful at home? Is it an area that upsets you, so to speak? And then S is our stress. The stress management, how are we looking at that? Are we doing yoga? Are we doing meditation? Are we doing nature walks? Are we just getting quiet instead of numbing out with another form? And then the T is the thankfulness, the gratitude that we show and being thankful for what we've been given and who we are right now. And then the Y is that yearning, that deep desire that's really pulling, and it's in all of us, and we'll start listening, it's there. And then leaning in when you hear that, lean into what it is. And then the E is the beautiful expansion as we live life to its sweetness.
That's a beautiful acronym. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
So we're winding down. Those of you who would like to get Norma McCormick's free gift, just go to support@voicesofwomen.com and mention her name, and you will be able to access her gift. Do you have any parting words for us today, Norma?
You know, I'm going to tell you, be real and be raw, like you talked about. Be yourself. Don't be anyone else.
Very good. Very good. Well, thank you so much for being here today. Really appreciated your wisdom and certainly all of the wonderful messages and that one word lifestyle that, you know, speaks right into our listening of how we can really be the best we can be in this human experience.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Patricia. It was an honor being interviewed by you. I appreciate it so much. And I love the folks that have come to listen. That is an honor.
Yes, it's wonderful to have you here. Thanks a lot for being a part of this day. Okay, very good. All right. So stay tuned. We have another guest coming up at the top of the hour.
Thank you for joining us for another
Thank you so much.
Women Summit, where our mission is to raise the voices of
Am I done?
so their messages.
Oh my God, thank you. I was
For recordings of all
stressing out
sessions,
when all that other
amazing
not being able to
VIP
get on.
gift bundle. Upgrade to VIP now. If you have any questions or problems during the summit, email our support team at
Do I sign off?
support@voicesofwomensummit.com. Stay tuned. We have another fantastic speaker coming right up.
Very good. Okay. All right.